not by the fires of hell. His iron will remains steadfast through the passage that preys upon the weak. For he alone was the Hellwalker, the unchained predator who sought retribution in all quarters, dark and light, fire and ice, in the beginning and the end.
The long-running Doom series is one that's been able to stand through the test of time in an industry that's continued to evolve at a rapid pace. As a franchise that has been able to both influence and reinvent itself during its lifespan, Doom is a prime example that a game doesn't need to do the usual copy and paste, chase the most popular trend bullshit to find success. As one of the best first-person shooters to come out in the last decade, Doom 2016 is the type of game that can make a person masculine almost instantly. It'll put hair on a man's chest to make him go from looking like a bald-ass Sphinx cat to being as bushy as Chewbacca's furry nutsack. And for a personal testimonial, I could say that the game helped me mature as both a person and a human being. As a soft reboot, Doom 2016 steps away from the horror roots that Doom 3 put into place by returning to a style that focuses more on slaughtering the fuck out of demons. Summarizing the game's story in so many words, in Doom 2016 you play as the Doomslayer, who's held in captivity prior to the game even starting. He's released by Dr. Samuel Hayden after one of his researchers, a woman named Olivia Pierce, opens a portal to hell, causing a demonic outbreak on Mars. As you play the game, you find out more about the world and how Earth was suffering from an energy crisis, which led to the secret extraction of Ardent energy from hell. For reference, Ardent energy is supposed to be an infinite source of energy made from souls. This is probably an oversimplified explanation, so if you're interested in learning more about Doom 2016's lore, then I highly suggest looking into it via Google or more detailed channels dedicated to showcasing the game. There's a lot to Doom 2016's overall story that I personally don't think I could do any real justice with these simplistic explanations.
We're only temporarily disabling the tower. You need to remove each lens individually. Carefully release the hinges.
You can only repeat yourself so many times before it starts to feel fucking annoying, and I know that I've mentioned certain things about Doom 2016 in the past. However, I still feel like I need to reiterate how great of a game it actually is. Where I personally feel that the game shines is through the combat. Where most games have you sticking with a select few weapons or loadouts, Doom 2016 promotes using other shit. Sure, there isn't like a fuckload of weapons or anything, but the ones you do have feel smooth. They're amazing to play around with, and if you do get bored, you also have a variety of different mods for the guns that you can dick around with. Beyond the usual weapons, there's also the chainsaw and the BFG. The chainsaw allows you to saw the fuck out of enemies into pieces, acting like an instant kill while providing ammunition and health. And the BFG is basically a big ass cannon that'll eradicate an entire fucking room. Unfortunately, the ammunition for the BFG is sparse, so you can't necessarily abuse it by spamming it. When you combine all this shit at your disposal, it's hard to get bored killing the living shit out of every fucking thing that crosses your path. Additionally, you may also come across power-ups from time to time as well. These things have different boosts that'll last for a certain amount of time, allowing you to be buffed up for a duration. These could have different powers, which include taking no damage with an invincibility, running and performing actions quicker through haste, a berserk power-up that allows you to punch the living fuck out of demons, brutally beating the shit out of them, and also a damage increase power-up that makes your bullets stronger. You have a lot of tools to bust shit up real fucking bad, so the game never feels like it gets repetitive. Like I said though, the merits of Doom 2016 come from the gameplay, which does a good job at making the player feel like a badass son of a fuck. This is also thanks to glory kills, which basically lets you rip enemies apart after doing enough damage to them. There's something that's incredibly satisfying about watching the Doomslayer brutally eviscerate enemies and toss them aside without giving two fucking shits. It's gory, it's grotesque, and it's fucking awesome. Moving back a bit and elaborating more on the previously mentioned modding system, you can also upgrade your weapons in multiple ways by interacting with field drones that you find out in each level. The field drones allow you to pick one mod for any of your weapons. For example, you can put a grenade launcher on your shotgun or have it set like a burst shot. Other mods include the likes of a lock-on for the rocket launcher, missiles for the heavy assault rifle, or a mobile turret upgrade for the chain gun. This kind of shit makes it easier to slaughter the living fuck out of everything in the game, which is something that the designers promote, since when you clear a zone of demons, you also receive points to upgrade your weapon's mods. For example, the shotgun has the explosive shot, which can be upgraded to increase the radius of the blast. In addition to that, you also have the masteries for each weapon after purchasing all the mod upgrades for a set. To unlock the mastery, you have to kill enemies in a certain fashion. This could be anything like getting headshots or killing multiple enemies with one weapon mod attack. Outside of that, there are things like the Praetorian suit upgrades and ruins. Both of them provide different enhancements and can be upgraded. The Praetor suit can be upgraded using tokens. These abilities allow the Doomslayer to switch weapons faster, find secrets easier, and also beef up the power-up and enhancements as well. And as for the runes, they're unlocked through different challenges. These rune buffs could be anything like being able to pick up ammo from further range and helping stagger enemies easier. Other than that, you can also find Argent Cell upgrades, which provide you with permanent boosts to your armor, health, or ammo capacity. I'm not entirely sure how many Ardent Cells there are completely, but I assume that you could max out everything if you find all the cells. Beyond the main campaign, there's also the classic maps in arcade mode. The classic map is basically just a retro level that you can go through. It's pretty neat and something extra to do. The arcade mode, however, lets you replay levels in sort of a score attacks type of style. Killing enemies and picking up shit from the map gives you points, etc. There's also a multiplayer, which I honestly tried multiple times, and once again, there wasn't much luck for me finding a game. However, I did end up getting paired with one individual at like 5 in the morning, which is kind of fucking strange, but it still wasn't enough to start up a match. You have the option of playing against bots to see how the game is online, so I guess there's that for anyone curious. There's also the Snap Map, which is basically user-created levels. You can play community levels or make your own. There's a surprising amount of them, and there still seems to be an active number of people still adding to these levels. The few that I played were actually very well designed too. It was a pretty neat feature altogether. So, putting everything together, Doom 2016 is still a fucking phenomenal game. It's actually crazy because I think I like the game more now versus the first time that I played it years ago, which is a testament to the actual quality of the game. Everything about it is fucking brilliant. The game does an amazing job at making the player feel like a fucking beast when you're slaughtering the living shit out of everything while metal plays in the background. I kind of felt like it was important for my channel's future to make a video on this game as well. If I'm gonna have to keep comparing shit that I played to Doom 2016, then I feel like I should have an actual reference to look back to. The game is 6 years old as of 2022 and still holds up really fucking well, which is usually a sign that the design was nearly flawless. Probably sounds fucking stupid, but going through Doom 2016 again felt somewhat therapeutic when compared to the other shit that I've been exposing myself to. It took me around 11 hours or so to complete the story, which is kind of long for a first-person shooters these days. The good thing is that it didn't feel like a slog the same way as shit like Duke Nukem Forever or Syndicate 2012 were. If anything, some of the hell levels aren't designed as well as the shit on Mars, but that still doesn't take away from how refined the game feels to this day. In closing, Doom 2016 is still fucking badass and stands out as a fuck you to trend-chasing bullshit. And for that, I give it my worthless seal of approval. Thanks, Doom 2016, for being so awesome.